On the first day of school, spirit beasts were assigned based on grades. The top student in the grade didn't hesitate and picked an SSS rank Heavenly Demon Silver Snake. Meanwhile, I was dead last, so I only got an F rank Black Bear. But not long after that, an extreme ice apocalypse hit. After bonding with the Black Bear, I shared its natural skill, cold resistance. But the white snake the class rep picked didn't have time to grow and froze to death on day 1 of the apocalypse. Out of jealousy, the class rep teamed up with the others, ambushed my Black Bear, and even cooked bear hot pot right in front of me. Badly wounded, I collapsed in the blizzard and died full of hatred and regret. But when I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day we picked our spirit beasts. Just as I was about to grab the Black Bear like I did in my last life, the class rep suddenly stopped me. Wait! She jumped up from her seat, ran over holding a pure white baby snake with crystal clear scales, shoved it into my arms, then quickly snatched up the lonely Black Bear from the box like she was scared I'd take it. The white snake is yours. I want the Black Bear. The whole class was stunned, and even the teacher frowned. After all, out of all the spirit beast cubs sent this time, that white snake had the purest bloodline. Its ancient bloodline purity was as high as 80%. Rumor had it, it was descended from an ancient heavenly demon python, way stronger than a black bear with only 20% bloodline purity and a much lower species rank. The gap between the two was huge, so nobody could understand why Lucy would give up the white snake for a black bear. Lucy, choosing your bonded spirit beast is no joke. It affects your future growth limit. Hurry up and switch back with Jack. Jack needs this white snake more than I do. My grades are good, so no matter what spirit beast I bond with, I'll still cultivate fast. But Jack's talent is only average. If he ends up with a black bear whose bloodline is this mixed, then his whole future is ruined. I'm willing to trade spirit beasts with him. Lucy's little speech set off a round of applause, and everyone was blown away by how selfless she sounded. Lucy, the most important thing in cultivation is your heart. You have a pure and kind soul. Even if your spirit beast is a little weaker, your future will still be limitless. Jack, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and thank Lucy. I shot Lucy a cold look and held the white snake out. Cut the act. I want that black bear. Lucy panicked for a second and hugged the black bear even tighter. The way she frowned while holding it made it look like I was the one bullying her. Jack, you don't need to test me. I really do want to trade with you. Save it, I don't need it. But before I could finish, something suddenly wrapped around my wrist, and a sharp sting hit. I looked down and saw the little white snake had bitten me. Its tiny fangs sank into my skin and bright red blood welled out of the wound. Then it flicked out its forked tongue and licked my skin, sending a strange tingling sensation through me. In the blink of an eye, the white snake had actually bonded with me on its own. And it wasn't just any contract. It was a life and death bloodline pact. The whole class stared at me and started booing. So Jack wasn't being noble after all. He pretended to turn down the white snake Lucy offered him, then immediately bonded with it before Lucy could take it back. Trash is still trash, he wants it both ways. After bonding with me, the white snake got all woozy, closed its eyes and fell asleep. Listening to the gossip around me, my face darkened. They had no idea I genuinely did not want this useless white snake. After being forced into a contract with it, all I could do was ignore their eye rolls and head back to my seat with a cold face. Only I knew that this white snake everyone wanted so badly would turn into dead weight in just half a month. But looking at Lucy, something clicked. The moment she gave up the white snake and fought me for the black bear, I knew it. Just like me, she'd been reborn. In my last life, Lucy picked the white snake, and I could only bond with the black bear nobody wanted. Then, half a month later, the ice apocalypse arrived. The whole world dropped into absolute sub-zero hell at minus 50 degrees, and Earth basically turned into a giant freezer. Compared to other spirit beasts with mixed bloodlines, the noble white snake needed a much longer growth cycle. By the time the apocalypse hit, it was still a useless little thing that could only absorb spiritual energy. It froze to death on the very first day. But my black bear, under my careful care, had already reached adulthood and awakened its talent-sharing ability. At minus 50 degrees, it shared its cold resistance skill with me, which made me the least likely person in the apocalypse to freeze to death. I joined the school's awakened squad to search for supplies. Along the way, Lucy kept trying to get the black bear to cancel its contract with me and become her bonded beast instead, but it refused every time. After getting rejected over and over, Lucy snapped. People said that if you ate black bear meat, you could gain the same resistance to the cold. So on another supply run, Lucy joined forces with the others, killed me and my bear, and in that world where people ate whatever they could to survive, we became their next meal. I stared coldly at the black bear in Lucy's arms. In my last life, that bear and I were incredibly close. We trusted each other with our lives. I never thought that in this life, Lucy would steal the black bear away. I could accept losing the cold resistance skill, but the debt from my last life, that would be paid in blood. I was staring at the black bear in a daze when it suddenly looked back at me too. The moment our eyes met, the tiny cub, barely bigger than a toy, blinked at me twice. Not once, not 3 times, twice. Joy surged through me, because 2 blinks was our secret signal from my last life. It meant, don't worry. From how I tried to hold on to the black bear earlier, it had already figured out that I was reborn too. And now, with the same signal, it was telling me that it had come back as well. At that point, I couldn't help giving Lucy a look that basically said, good luck. Just because a black bear looks honest and harmless doesn't mean it's actually calm and gentle. This one was scheming to the core. While I was silently exchanging urgent looks with the black bear, something cool suddenly pressed against my mouth. I looked down and realized my useless little spoiled princess of a white snake, gorgeous but good for nothing, was awake. I'm not useless. A cold, arrogant voice rang out in my head. And another thing, human, Don't look at that dark, ugly thing. I poked the little white snake on the head with my other hand. Wait, you're talking? The little white snake proudly lifted its head and lazily curled around my palm. At that point, I felt like calling it a spoiled little princess instead of a white snake. My name is Anna, and if you want, human, you may call me your majesty. I flicked its tail. You're such a little edgelord. Who taught you to talk like that? Up at the podium, the teacher started explaining how to draw the contract formation. Most spirit beasts are contracted by humans. Beast clans are naturally proud. They're relatively gentle when they're young, but only a tiny few will ever take the initiative to form a contract with a human they like. After going over the rules, the class started trying to form contracts with their own spirit beasts. Except for me. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I never would have believed that I got forcibly contracted by the noble descendant of an ancient heavenly demon python. Anna, why did you choose to bond with me? That woman smells disgusting. Lucy is the school beauty. Tons of guys at school are obsessed with her. Then they're blind idiots. What about me? The white snake in my arm slipped its tongue into my sleeve, sounding a little awkward. You're okay, clean enough. When I got bored, I lightly ran my fingertips over Anna's scales. The white snake felt way better than I expected. Cool to the touch, but unbelievably smooth. Like the finest silk. I played with its tongue for a bit, then touched its body, and in the end I just couldn't resist going for that slim, elegant tail. Everyone says you should never touch a snake's weak spot, but this was just a baby snake. It should be fine, right? The second I grabbed its tail, Anna's whole body went rigid like it had been electrocuted. Beneath the white scales, its skin flushed faintly pink. Stop that, you shameless creep! You're harassing me! Right then, Anna looked exactly like a little girl who'd just been taken advantage of. I blinked and casually pulled my hand back. Kid, stop stuffing your head with weird nonsense. Anna got so mad its eyes instantly turned misty. It huffed, turned its head away, and refused to speak to me anymore. In class, Lucy was the first to finish drawing her contract formation. A flash of excitement crossed her pretty, delicate face as she initiated the contract with the black bear. The formation wrapped around the black bear and spun at high speed. Inside it, the bear quietly used its spiritual power to alter the formation in 2 places. The contract silently changed from an equal pact into a master-servant pact, except the black bear was the master, and Lucy was the servant. It was a formation the black bear and I had discovered together in an ancient ruin during one of our training trips. I never expected it to use it now to trap Lucy. After successfully contracting Lucy, the black bear shot me a smug look. I quietly hid my hand under the desk and gave it a thumbs up. Seriously, never mess with the quiet ones. Human, you're a bad person. A sulky voice exploded in my ear. Yup, it was my Chuny. Arrogant, dramatic, thin-skinned little snake again. How am I bad? I absent-mindedly tapped its cool scales with my fingertip. You touched my tail, and now you're making eyes at another woman. A dark, ugly one, too. Anna sounded more and more aggrieved as it spoke. I let out an almost invisible sigh. So now it was also a jealous little vinegar jar. By then, everyone in class had finished their contracts, and the teacher handed out cultivation supplies to each of us. I kept one snack for myself and fed all the rest to Anna. Anna gulped down all 19 pieces one after another at an insane speed. Before we even left the classroom, my snacks were already gone. The other students stared at me in shock. Jax lost it. He fed the white snake a whole week's worth of cultivation supplies. Was he even listening in class? Doesn't he know spirit beasts grow slowly, so you can't rush feeding them? Those snacks are mainly for your own cultivation. What a total waste for that white snake to be bonded to him. Even the teacher frowned. Certain students need to pay attention. The amount of snacks handed out each month is limited. If you waste them, the school will not give you extra. I just answered calmly, got it. Honestly, in my last life I was already generous with the black bear when it came to cultivation resources. Most students split theirs 4-to-1 with their bonded beast, but I always split mine right down the middle. I thought if we were comrades, then half and half was only fair. But even with the black bear, I was never this generous. With Anna, it was 19 for it and 1 for me. And it wasn't just the class that thought I'd gone crazy. I thought it was kind of insane too. Then it hit me. What Anna had formed with me was a bloodline pact, not a normal equal contract. In a normal equal contract, if either human or beast dies, the other one isn't affected. But a bloodline pact is different. It's life and death together. If the white snake died on the first day of the apocalypse like it did in my last life, then I'd die too. So yeah, right now this little diva's life matters more than anything. For the rest of the time, everyone can go find a place and cultivate on your own. I walked out holding the white snake. As I passed Lucy, she suddenly stepped in front of me halfway and spoke in a voice only I could hear.